I prep my Dungeons and Dragons games as the game. I had this big massive folder of improvisation, so you improvise with each other. I can just hand them this prop and be like, do this what you. Hey, it's Casper, and welcome back to my channel. Ignore pajamas because I'm lazy, but today I want to show you how I prep my Dungeons and Dragons games as the game master. So let's just go straight into it because yay. As soon as I started recording, I got kicked out into the living room, so I'm watching Critical Role on the TV, which I probably should pause for this, the only background noise. Okay, so the way I prep is quite simple actually. So I had this big massive folder through like all the stuff I could ever need in the campaign. I'll show you how I organise this in a second. I have like a quick notebook, which my friend got me from Etsy, I think. So I have a big massive PDF file on my notes app on my phone for any quick ideas I get during the in-between sessions of the entire campaign, not just each session. And I go through that and convert my ideas onto actual paper so I can start the session. So example here is my handwriting is awful, holy. For the Masquerade Party, I just did a big block of text of the introduction to immerse them, which is converted from the PDF file, and then we just go on our days. And these are for rough notes, and any of these notes get converted into big notes that I put into this section called campaign lore in my file. In my file, I do have the current session with anything I'm doing in the current session, any handouts, anything like that. Campaign lore, any maps and languages that I've used previously. Anything I'm using again will get brought back up into the new session and organised after every session. So if you want me to do an after session organisation video, I'll do that. Same with NPCs and world building, stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is convert the notes app onto actual paper, because I prefer paper and pen over any electronics when I'm sessioning, when I'm actually playing, because it's easier organised for me. Okay, so I have done that. I'll show you how it is now, and I'll show you what I do afterwards. So this is how I organise the beginning monologue of the session. You don't need to read that. Just realised because Cool's still playing. Oh well. So that's how I just prep that. Now, obviously, they have many ways to go around this. So I predict a few, and I have plans in my head of what they can do. Obviously, it's a game of improvisation, so you improvise what they're doing. So with that, I know they're going to need a map. So I prepared them a map of where they need to go. It's a magic map, so yeah, I can just hand them this prop and be like, do with this what you will. That's cool. Now for recap. Now, I'm trying something new this session, which is making them do a bucket of recap. Specifically a bucket, not a Kahoot. So they can fight for points during like the hacking system for the cryptocurrency one. So it's even more competitive. So even if you get a lot of one, you can still win. And whoever wins the recap gets an advantage of any role this session. I like to give out advantages a lot. I also need to start giving out disadvantages for idiots. They're not idiots, I love them. So that's essentially what I do. Now for the actual, so I just put that in campaign lore. So now I have some like spellings of any new NPCs, or just put out the spellings so I can just give them that instead of like giving it out so they can write it in the notes, because they like to be, my players like to have the exact spelling for things for whatever reason, so I'll happily do that for them. Now I need to look at any other maps or languages that I need to create for them, so I can just hand it over to them. So I gave them this map. I don't think we'll need another map, but if we do, I do have a whiteboard and a whiteboard pen, so any makeshift any makeshift maps we can just quickly do on the whiteboard. As I also put like initiative roles on that, so we know the order. So now we'll grab the NPCs I think we'll meet in for the session that we'll need. So we have the BBEG, which they don't know about yet, and the text here with blue and red, they're voice lines for these two characters, which is Barloff and Renara. So I'm going to put that into current session so I have a reference point of where everything is going. Another thing is that we are... Oh, I don't know. So I can just have a quick reference point and know everything is there. As well as now leaving this Dragon's Rest, we have a new area, so they can find this. Okay, so I did do that right. So current session, and we just have any information we need for our current session, as well as the quick notes book. Now I need to finish preparing the quick notes book, so I'll quickly show you how I do that. So I'm just going to grab a ruler real quick, and I'm going to split a page into 4, which is like the main point session notes, which I will show you in a second once I'm done them. So I need to do that real quick. I set the page out like this. Ignore this. I'm not the best at using the ruler. So this is each of my players. Now anything that my characters focus on this session, I note down here. And I try to make sure they get the answers for that within the next few sessions. For example, if Annika is very focused on the law of why Dragon's Rest is burning, for example, which is... And then I'll make sure they get the answer within the next few sessions somehow. So I just write down what they're interested in specifically. Doing this is a very good way to make sure that every player gets what they want out of each session-ish. I may only do one player's interest, or all of them, or none, or 2 of them. As long as I know what they want out of the next few sessions, I can make that happen, which makes all my players immersed, which I think is the whole point of the game. Now I also want to grab a post-it notes, because how I take notes during the campaign is that I video record it. But instead of going through an entire 4 or 5 hour recording, I put timestamps on a post-it note and then go back on it and convert that into notes. Now the rest of these pages are for like initiative trackers, HP, literally anything noteworthy for rough notes. So I just use stuff as sticky notes, paste that down, and have that as a timestamp for every time I need to. And at the end, I just need to put all the post-it notes at the back so I can look back at it. Even though I do delete the voice notes after every time I get the notes out, because that's what I do. So that's essentially how I prepare my sessions. I don't need to do any maps apart from this one. I don't mind showing you this actually. So this is just made a huge map of anywhere they can go basically in the whole world. So that's essentially what I do. So after session though, I can do a completely different video because it's a different step. Another thing I need to do is prepare the music for tomorrow's session and charge my phone. So that's essentially all I do. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.